Yeah, we
and
just talk
then
about our overall feeling of the game.
yeah, just talk about the game and like the comments will kind of help us lead into our stories. But if we notice it's getting bland, so let's see. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Warren,
This is Jay.
and this is the Eagles Collective, and we here to just talk birds and just get everybody's thoughts and opinions and just our predictions on Monday night's game and what we expect to come for this next Sunday night game against the Bills. So Jay, for a second, why don't you let everybody know just what your thoughts were on the game? Uh, where were you at? Where did you see opportunities? Just give us your full thoughts and just the
Oh,
craziness they put us through in that game.
oh yeah. I mean, it was another, heart attack game, nail biting game. Up and down, and not knowing where you're gonna be, being down 10 at halftime. Overall, I believe it was a good game from a defensive standpoint. Offensive struggled. I think the defense stood out and made stops. They held Mahomes to under 200 yards. So I think they did their job where they needed to do it. Um, Offense sputtered at a lot of times. There was moments where there were so many quarterback design. I had so much problems with the play calling, just like every other Eagles fan. Too many design quarterback runs, too many screens. A couple of weeks ago on one of our episodes, I asked for some screens, and it's like, it was too many screens. That's what I felt like. So I just think they need to get back to the roots of their offense from the beginning of the year. And it was exciting to see Swift involved more. I feel like we need to use Swift more, and he's a piece that we didn't have last year that kind of can put us over the top. Let's go, Warren. You there? I don't see you, my man. I think we lost Warren for a second. Let me see if I could get this thing up real quick so I could get the chats up. Let me see if I can get the. Oh,
Yeah,
you got.
bro. Yeah, I agree with you. And one thing with
Yeah.
that too is just I think I think we showed that we can win in the trenches,
Yes.
and it was a measuring stick game that we had. So just simply just simply knowing the Chiefs and their accolades, the Super Bowl
Mhm.
rings, Patrick Mahomes being the most dominant quarterback in the last few years, and for us to go to Arrowhead and leave with a victory, especially with that fan base and with those fans at that stadium with the rain, that just shows that we really honestly ready for
Yeah.
anything. Like nothing can really stop us from the path that we're going.
Yeah, I just feel like this team is extremely resilient. They scream resiliency, and it's just finding another way to win. I know it sounds cliche, but it's just what they've been doing. They've been finding more ways to win. And, Jalen, like I said, doesn't have to have an MVP game for the Eagles to win. It's not solely dependent on his performance if we're going to go or not. That's a good and a bad thing, because some people look at it as, he's on a stacked team, but, he's the quarterback. He dictates a lot of the flow of the game. So, I just like the fact that he makes throws and plays when we need him to make them.
Yeah. So with that, also, give me what your thoughts were about our defense. That first half compared to that second half.
Well, the defense, the first half, they were, they gave Mahomes a couple plays, that to hold them to a field goal, was key. I just think that the second half shutting them out, I just think that this speaks volumes. And they've been shut out 3 weeks in a row. Credit to the other two teams that shut them out, but we shut them down, in a very dominating way. Got it to the red zone twice. They had the interception, then they also had the fumble. So we took it away from them. It's not like they weren't moving the ball a little bit on us. He only had 177 yards, but seemed to be like with the punt returns, he kept having good field position. So that was a little annoying to also see Kadarius Toney just keep getting them in good field position. I think Warren having a little technical difficulties today. Let's see, Warren, where you at, bro? I don't know if you can hear me right now. Overall, though, I'm excited with how the team is responding to every single test they're receiving each week. Let me see if I could get one over there.
Yeah. So no, I agree with you with the defense.
You good,
Sorry.
Warren?
Yeah. What I was doing was I was trying to get our members in the group on and just reach out to them and let them know that we are on right now. That's all.
Okay.
As you know, yeah, I'm working on my phone right now, so that's why it's going in and out. But we good though. But we can just talk birds right now. So
Okay.
but yeah. So with the defense, I think our defense we saw where we were missing a lot of holes in
Hmm.
the first half. And with Sanders's decision making in that's where he saw what we needed to do, filled in those holes, and we left him with 0 points on the board in that second half. And that just showed you like we
Zero.
we can make changes when needed. And I just think when we had Gannon last year, Gannon wouldn't do that. Gannon was not that type of defensive
He wasn't
coordinator.
good at adjusting. He wasn't good at adjusting. He wouldn't make the adjustments that we needed to make.
Yeah. On top of that, I'm more happy that we were able to those pickups that we got in the season.
Hmm.
We were able to see why they were worth those pickups. Like Bayard getting the interception, Roby getting the
Yep.
forced
Yep.
fumble. Like those things are pinpoints of why people are making trades right now in the middle of the season because we see the little hump that we need to go through and we know the pieces that we need, so we're just adding to that. So I think that's a huge piece to what we did as well Monday night.
I'm also posting it, like you said, in the group. I'm posting it in another way too, so they could join in. Because you know what? This is the first week we're going live from the page, so it doesn't have that much members like the group, so they can't see it.
Yeah, so it's only showing the people from the page.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from the page right now. So yeah, I'm just working on that as you speak. But yeah, Warren. So so defense to me, like I said before, every which way each week, it's like it lands on another person. This team is not solely dependent on one guy's performance. And look, you saw AJ had 8 yards and basically one catch, and and we still won. And it's not like we don't need our best receiver to have 100 yards to win. We don't need the quarterbacks to have 300 yards to win. We could find ways to make plays, get turnovers, and just simply just put a game together. I'm at this point. The Eagles are just really good. It's been 10 games, 11 weeks, 10 games for them. They've won 9 out of 10 games. It's not like they're smoking people, knocking the boots off anybody, but they're strategically just beating teams down. And when it comes down to sealing the deal, they're closing the games. There's a lot of teams that get into one possession games and they can't just close it. So the fact that the Eagles are just closing these games is amazing.
Yeah, and we're just playing they're just playing backyard football at the end of the day. And I'm just really glad that for about a while they determine good teams based off stats,
Mm-hmm.
like passing yards, interceptions, uh, all those things. And we're coming in as a team that's not showing that. Like at the end of the day, if you really think about it, the tush push is helping win us games. And the tush push is a very simple move. And when I mean simple, it's all we're doing is just trying to get that extra yard. But we're getting that extra yard with our force and being physical while doing it.
When you
So
when you look at it in slow motion, like you literally see the clash and then you see
mhm.
the push going towards in the Eagles direction. It's almost as if it's perfection for them because other teams run it and it just looks extremely sloppy and dangerous. But when the Eagles run it, it just looks like another day at the office. So it's just crazy to see how far this play is getting them, man. And it really started last year. Really, it didn't really start this year. It really started last year. With the sneaks, they started getting in, and then I guess, you know, just kept going.
And what's crazy? Like this is just a hypothetical, just throwing this out there. If you really think about it, if the Eagles really wanted to, bro, they could push their way into a first down. Like they could literally use all three downs and push their way into a first down every time if
Well,
they really wanted to.
I don't think every
I'm,
single
I'm just saying.
time.
I'm just saying if they wanted to like video game style it, that's how they could really do it
Yeah,
because
I
when they're
don't think.
doing that push, they're gaining not just 1 yard, they're gaining an extra 2, 3 yards on top of that.
Yeah,
So
I think what you're trying to say is they could use it in short yard situations because on 1st and 10, it's not logical to do that. Get to it's not that's not logical. But I get what you're saying though. Like on short, because they did it when they were second
mhm.
and one, they did it. On second down, they used it. On second down, they used it versus the Chiefs. So I just believe it's just what they're gonna continue to go with in the short yard situations.
Yeah. So but yeah, tush push. And I'll be honest with you, when we first saw that, like we saw them struggle in the first half. At the end of the day, they were struggling. There's a lot of miscues, all that going on in that first half. But for them to come back and make the plays that they did, that just tells you a lot. Um, my biggest question for you is how do you feel like our offense performed? We talked about we want to see the run game. We weren't getting tired of the pass, but we were very relying on the pass a lot in the pass games. So how do you feel like the run game was in this game with Swift,
I
Gainwell, and
think I
Scott?
think the run game got a little bit going. A little. I think Swift overall, the running backs, even them catching the ball out of the backfield got going. That's all I wanted us to do is just get the running backs going more because we can't be too predictable with just AJ and Devontae with no Goddard. So other people have to catch the ball and make plays. I think the offense struggled for the most part, like you said. They struggled, especially in the first half. Jalen took a couple sacks that was just him trying to make a play or one of those quarterback design runs and then run into a wall. Um, they struggled. It's just different games, different flows. They're playing a really good defense, one of the
Yeah,
best pass defenses, top 5 pass defense. So it was raining. There's a lot of elements there on the road. There's a lot of things that go into it. Um, Overall, I like the fact that Devontae's getting going. He ended up with 99 yards, like just like he ended up with before. Again, 99 yards, but he's contributing, and that's what you want. You don't just want everything to be AJ. Just be one of those teams where, like the Vikings, where everything is Justin Jefferson, and then there's a major drop off from then on. So it's like we want to have this multi-dimensional offense, but the running backs have to be more involved, especially catching the ball out of the backfield too.
yeah, and we saw a huge advantage to having Swift on our team with that. Swift had an amazing game. Uh, Devontae Smith had a good game. Jalen Hurts had a good game. Jalen Hurts stepped up like that one play when I want to say they're about 20 yards away from the end zone and he just ran it in, like just all will, like he wasn't going to get stopped. Like that's what we needed. We all knew that was the play that we needed at that moment to kind of reassure us that we got this at the end of the day.
Quarterback draw.
And yeah, so yeah, but also we noticed we noticed that we struggled a lot with the O line with the 5 sacks in the very beginning. What do you think caused that?
Um, I was when you look at it, it was weird because sometimes Jalen goes through his read and he'll bail from the pocket. Just it looks like a little bit early, and then it just causes a little bit of disarray. But I just think that the Chiefs' defensive line is good. I just think they're a good defense, a little ferocious. There was moments where Jalen had a couple clean pockets and stuff, but the pressures were there. The pressures were there. To me, it was the blitzing that Spags kept bringing. He kept blitzing from the nickel, kept on blitzing from the nickel. That was the most pressure that the Eagles faced all night. Once the second half came and Jalen made an adjustment to the blitz, and they started realizing that we're gonna throw some screens then through the middle to Swift. A couple screens is gonna keep the blitz honest. It actually started working because they were blitzing, and a couple blitzes you could see they overshot the play and leave the middle field wide open for Swift. So it was interesting cat and mouse game between Spags and Brian Johnson, but that blitz kept coming off the nickel. They know that's the way to get to Hurts, just blitz him off the nickel. That when he rolls out, he basically almost has nowhere to go. So the blitz is Jalen's ability to recognize the blitz and work against the blitz all night is very impressive to me.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Kelsey definitely stepped up this game too. Like he was very physical, especially with helping Swift, just kind of being that front runner in all those run plays. So
Oh yeah, he's
uh,
always up the field. That's why I love Jason
yeah,
Kelsey. He's always up the field. He's always and he's not illegally up the field. Like illegal man play up the field. He's always up the
Yeah.
field, just knocking somebody down, ready, running angry.
Yeah, and it's crazy because you like, yo, he's really thinking about retirement, and he's playing better than a lot of centers right now in the league. So that's crazy. Um, but yeah, no, overall good game. I How do you feel like this game was with the gauntlet of other games that we have coming up? Like we had the Chiefs won that game. Well, I personally count the gauntlet starting off with the Cowboys, just because we are going to play them later, and they're going to have already played us, so they're going to know they're going to learn from they're going to learn from their loss. So Cowboys, Chiefs, then we have the Bills, 49ers, and then we go to Dallas, and then they go to Seattle. So, do you feel more confident in us leaving out of that stretch of tough games with no losses?
Yeah, I feel more confident that we're gonna leave out of the. I know we're gonna have at a minimum one loss out of those. We can't win them all, like I said. Um, but we took the hardest game off the schedule, which was the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, and probably the best quarterback next to Jalen in the NFL. So, I think that just knocking the Chiefs off is a great way to start this gauntlet. I kind of like I want to keep the gauntlet like starting from the bye week after because we already played the Cowboys once at home, and I kind of feel like they're playing them at their house is going to be the real test for us. Playing them on the
Mm.
road because they came to the link and we beat them at the link. But if you want to consider like what I think about like I mean, if you want to ask me what I think about the like how we started, I think we started off great. We took the hardest game off the schedule. The hardest one out of the whole gauntlet thing is the Chiefs, and we win and we won 1-0.
I'm telling you, bro, I really think it's the 49ers. I'm telling you. I feel
Yeah,
like it's the 49ers
you
game.
think that's the team that's gonna beat us?
I think if we were to lose through that gauntlet of teams, it will be the 49ers. But I
Yeah,
look at it like this, even if we did lose to them, we're going to see them again.
yeah. I could see a
So,
scenario happening where we could win all the games and just lose to the Cowboys, and the Cowboys are gonna act like they won the Super Bowl. I could see that happening too. I could literally see that happening. I could see that happening. The 49ers, though, it's just too much talking. It was too much talking all off
it
season.
was too much talking, but bro, they coming back physical. Like
But
they, yeah,
they're coming back to our house. And last year there was no difference in how physical they are this year. Last year they was just as ferocious. I
yeah,
don't think we have anything to be worried about with the 49ers. Like honestly, the 49ers don't look as rough and tough as they did in the beginning of the season. They are flawed. They went on a 3-game losing streak. They are a team that can be beat. They can and will be beat. So I worry more even about the Dallas game because it's hard to play in Dallas. You see Dallas is smoking everybody at home, and then they have struggling a bit on the road, even though they have a couple W's on the road. They just don't play as well on the road. So I'm more worried about this next game because I feel like some Eagle fans are overlooking the Bills and looking towards the Niners game already. And the last time we did that is we overlooked the Jets looking at the Dolphins. Let's not overlook the Bills. Let's worry about the Bills right now because a couple Eagle fans are just thinking we're going to steamroll the Bills. It might not just be like that easy. You understand? No game this season has been super easy for the Eagles.
yeah. We'll be moving forward with the Bills too. After that, I just wanted to see what your thoughts were with the gauntlet of games because
Yeah, yeah,
the Chiefs is a tough team to kind of start it off with.
yeah,
You said
yeah.
you want to start off with the Chiefs. That's a tough team. They're coming out of a bye, never beating the Chiefs, going to Arrowhead, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey. Like that's a huge statement that was made. Um,
They could have
but
lost.
yeah,
Imagine if they lost this game, then you go in with a little bit of shoulders down, going
a
into the
little
Buffalo
fire.
game. Yeah, like
Yeah.
low energy, low vibration. And then it's just, but the fact that they beat the Chiefs, they avenged the Super Bowl loss, it just feels good. And going forward, this could be a big step in towards the Eagles' confidence and just looking at every other opponent heading on to the end of the season.
Yeah, no, I like that. So we do still have a few injuries. We know that 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 we actually have Dallas Goddard still out right now. Justin Evans is on IR at the moment. So we still kind of seeing where we are, but since they did have a game on Monday, it was kind of a rest day for the players. we'll have a full injury report. Who was limited practice, who was full participant in practice these next few days. So we'll be seeing that, especially with the holidays coming up right now. But yeah, we'll move forward with the Kelly Green game against the Bills. Just what are your thoughts going into this Bills game? I looked it up, and Josh Allen actually has a shoulder injury right now. He's still a full participant, but he's having a shoulder injury coming into the game. Diggs has been frustrated a few times with just the gameplay. Their defense is still playing solid defense. Just what are your thoughts going into the game against the Bills?
Before we answer that question, my fault. I need to be rude. Shout out to Shane Jackson. I seen he said, "Yep." I don't know what he agreed with, but I just shout to Shane Jackson. Then I see Dennis had to send him the link, so try to send Dennis the link. But I wasn't aware of his injury until this morning. So you sent me the itinerary for the show and everything. Then I started looking more into. So it's something that's lingering with him a little bit. It's gonna obviously any injury affects a player to whatever degree it does affect them, but it's gonna be a tough game. Sean McDermott, the coach, he comes from the Philadelphia coaching tree. He coached in Philadelphia back with Andy Reid, and he's from Philadelphia. First time coaching against the Eagles in Philadelphia. He's coached the Eagles in Buffalo versus Buffalo in Buffalo. But they'll have a little bit of spark. They fired Ken Dorsey, so they're a little. They're rolling after the Jets game. They put up 30 plus. They could be quite a bit dangerous on offense. They do have a lot of sneaky, gadgety plays. Our secondary is not the greatest, but this is a winnable game. This is a winnable game, but we cannot sleep on the fact that they got their second game with a new offensive coordinator, and they just may be getting creative and try a lot of things that might not be on tape and might catch us by surprise.
Yeah, Shane said something. You said we would win all those games, but maybe lose to Dallas, and they will get carried away.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's true. Yeah, we could beat all these teams, then lose to Dallas, and all of a sudden we're not contenders to them no more. You know how that goes already, man. Any Eagle fans know how it goes with Dallas fans.
Hey, Dennis said, Dennis said we ain't scared. We got Madden curse. Okay, I like that.
They do.
And at the end of the day, we do got to be honest. Like, this is the way I look at it. The 49ers is a very tough team. The Dallas Cowboys is a very tough team. I hate the Cowboys, but they are a tough team. Like, we recognize real when it comes to this. So I see it like this. Leaving that Bills game, we're going to be good. We're going to be in a good spot. Going into the 49ers game, the same energy and the same way we felt about losing that Super Bowl to the Chiefs, and the 49ers feel that same way. They feel like we literally took the Super Bowl away from them by knocking out their quarterback. That's the way they feel. And they know they can come back. And they're like, yo, we want to prove to everybody that if this was a real game, they could take us out. So they're coming in with that energy. So yes, we at the end of the day, we can beat the 49ers. But I see their mentality is they want to come in, they want to show they should have had it, and it should have been them. Dennis saying he want in on the video.
Yeah, I sent him the link. Dennis, check your Facebook message. I sent you the link. So I sent him the StreamYard link. But yeah, I see Shane Jackson also said the Bills are going to try to use Shakir. Definitely. So that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to take advantage of our young corners. When we put Ricks in the game and Job in them, they're going to try to take advantage of them because Bradbury and Slay's on the outside. So I could definitely see them trying to use Shakir and that running back, the Cook, with the other Cook brother. They've been trying to utilize him a lot. I keep up a little bit with the Bills because of my nephew. My nephew's a Bills fan, so I keep up with them and the Jets because of him and my son, their rivalry. So I've watched Bills games here and there, and they have little gadgety plays and misdirection plays and things they like to run. So those are all things the Eagles have to look for. My worry is just running into plays and stuff that's not on tape that they have, working with the interim offensive coordinator.
Cool. So we're gonna have Dennis join us for a second.
Yeah.
What's going on, Dennis?
The world ain't ready, my friend. The world ain't ready.
What's going on, man? You got to get it off your chest. Let's hear it.
I got to speak my mind. First off, Thanks for letting me join up with y'all. I'm sorry I missed last week. So much
all
respect
good.
for what you guys do. Keep up the great work. A lot of people in the
Thank you,
community
brother.
take notice of what you boys do. I know me, Sean, and the young man Logan that we're taking care of all watch your stuff. We try to learn and take stuff that you guys do and add to ours to make us better. And a lot of people also do the same to watch you guys to make them better. So hats off to y'all. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing it the way you're doing it. Don't change for nobody. That's the
I
first thing I
respect that,
want to say.
bro.
Yeah, I really
Likewise to you
respect that. I
too.
appreciate that, my brother. Really do.
Likewise to you too. You guys have some good facts, and I love hearing you guys and just getting that connection with all Eagles fans. Hey, we all see things differently. We all see it differently, but we all got one goal at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I
That's
love what you guys are doing with Logan too, man. That's amazing. The story's amazing. Everything's amazing. That's what really
awesome.
gravitated me to you guys for sure.
And I appreciate it. I work hard at it. Um, I take a lot of pride in what we've built in such a short time. Um, the countrywide Eagles Tailgate Mafia was not built just for people coming from out of state. It's also for the people that are just in the area that don't have nobody to tailgate with. If you don't
Yeah.
have anybody to tailgate with and you just want to come hang out, like that's what we're there for. We're in Lot D for a reason because there's nobody else over there.
That's
We
what's up.
wanted to have our own area, our own
What's up.
spot where we could make our own identity. So if anybody's ever looking for us, we're in Lot D under Pole D1. We usually post up when we're going to be there, when we're not going to be there. But let's get to this Kansas City thing because I got a vent.
Yeah,
What's
get it
going
off
on?
the
The
chest. man.
only
Go ahead.
thing the Kansas City Chiefs have going for them right now is the fact that Patrick Mahomes' wife is hot. Other than that, on to the next one. On to the next one. That's what I
I
got to
like
say.
that.
And
I
Travis
like
Kelsey,
it, buddy.
stop watching dodgeball, bro, because they're gonna blast you with that ball every time.
I like that. I like that. Yeah. Patrick Mahomes is trying to prove he can play with these C-level receivers.
And we've
It's
been through that. We've been through that era, and people forget that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
People
did.
forget the fact like we've been through this. We've seen all this. Nelson Aguilar,
Yeah.
Jalen Rager, James Thrash. Sorry.
Jordan Matthews, but we've been
Yeah.
through receivers just
So
like
it's like
very low level guys.
we're
Yeah.
getting hot. You know what I mean? We're getting hot at the right times. People will say straight up to me like, "Hey, you were really critical about them in the first." Yes, I am, because here's why. All of us are critical of our teams in our own way. I am very, 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 very critical of how this team plays. I will say the most outrageous stuff because I'm frustrated. I'm loyal. I love this team.
Shame.
It's,
That's crazy.
it's Kelly Green week, baby. It's Kelly Green week.
Yes, sir.
Like I've been to 4 games this year. Like I love the Birds. You know what I mean? I drive 3 hours just to go to a game.
Yeah.
They have to deliver and play the style of football that we know and love. You cannot keep playing this half-ass offense in the first half and not delivering. We're still used, us loyal Eagles fans from the early 2000s, late 90s, we're all still used to that Jim Johnson defense. We have not had a defense like that in God knows how many years. But now we have the talent to do it, and you have a defensive coordinator who's scared to pull the trigger. Like, we sit here and we complain about our linebackers don't do this, our corners don't do this, our safeties don't do this. I will be straight up with you. Sidney Brown is a loaded weapon. Is a loaded weapon. There is no safety in the NFL that has his speed and can hit like him.
I agree.
Logan, go back and look at everything that Jim Johnson did with Brian Dawkins in the years that he was living. God bless him, and I hope he's resting well. He didn't deserve to go. And you let Sidney Brown do the stuff that Dawkins was doing with blitzing, even if you don't do it all game, but if you find a way to scheme it in 2 or 3 plays, maybe 2 quarters, you have a difference maker in defense.
Absolutely. I wish we did blitz safeties a couple more. Like, they were blitzing their corners all night. We need to do something like that on defense where we're blitzing, because those are the plays that catch teams off guard.
Yeah, the Chiefs sparked an idea for us. Yeah.
Like, did you guys caught our video last week, right?
Yeah.
So as you saw, we were breaking down the one sack. There's so many schemes that you can look and take advantage of with the speed and talent that we have on the defensive side of the ball. Nolan Smith hates linebacker. He doesn't want to play it, but he doesn't have the size to play a defensive end. So this is where you take advantage of everything that he wants to do, and you flip this towards the offense to where they can't cover it. You scheme it, you make a hole, and you send them through it because they're not going to stop him. He's too quick.
Absolutely. I think they need to utilize him more. I think he's underutilized for a fact.
It's just scheming. It's basic scheming. Yes, I understand. It's outside looking in. You can't just go by what we're saying. I'm just saying an idea of what's there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm nowhere near
I mean, it's
perfect. I'm
logical.
just
What you're
another
saying
guy.
is logical. What we're just saying, like, where are the pressure plays? We cannot only just generate pressure from the defensive line. We have to use other position players to generate pressure: linebackers, safeties, and corners. Other teams do it. We need to do it. The Eagles solely rely on the defensive line to hit home, and it doesn't always happen like that. You got to send an extra
No,
guy.
it's
You got
not
to send an
happening.
extra guy.
Yeah.
You got to send
Yeah.
extra guys. So I agree with that. We should get a little bit more exotic with the looks on as far as blitzing, and because the pressure can't just come solely from the D line. It can't just work.
Even jumping back to like last year when we picked up Linval Joseph and the Dominic McSue, like they learned to do a 5-man rush without costing a linebacker.
Yeah.
They put Jordan Davis at the nose and they just obliterated people. We haven't seen that once this year. But if you take BG, Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, and Hassan Reddick or Sweat, whoever you want to put there, they're not stopping all 5 of them.
That's true.
You will collapse an offensive line so fast there will be no hole.
That's a fact. That is true. True.
And Patrick Mahomes doesn't escape the pocket like he did.
Yeah, he escaped way too much.
Small things, man.
Bro, he just sneaks his way out every time. Just like the way their offense played us was exactly how they played us in the Super Bowl. Like it was almost as if we didn't learn anything.
The running back, the running back pass that they did to Swift in the third, fourth quarter, and he's right there by Landon Dickerson, and Landon gives it up. Like the dude would have had the first down, and we'd still been on the field. It's small mistakes like that we're making that we're not jumping on to rip people apart.
Also, the penalties. We had quite a few penalties, a couple of false starts, and some bad moments, some bad moments there. And Josh Sweat, I believe, got called twice for encroachment. Is it okay you get called once for encroachment? He got called twice for encroachment during the game. So those are things, those are discipline things they got to pick up because those.
And I do want to apologize for my tire because I am at work. So
no,
you're good. You're good. So I got a question for you though, Dennis. Do you think
my hairline messed up? Yes.
do you think that the defensive line mostly and just the defense in general is just way let me word this correctly. Do you feel like we have a defense that yes, defensive coaches would want, but they also wouldn't know how to actually control it? There's a lot of defensive coordinators that wouldn't know what to do with such a dominant and talented defense that we have. And you feel like Sean Desai, the defense that we have, so to say, shouldn't be given to a defensive coordinator that isn't. This is his first time being a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, if we had a seasoned defensive coordinator that knows what to do with the players that we have, do you feel like we would be just? It wouldn't even be a question. Our defense would be unstoppable. And I definitely get where you're coming from. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like Sean Desai is just so new to where he's making his mistakes through trial and error. And we're seeing that. Just like we're seeing that through the naked eye. That so many mistakes are being made.
As somebody that was a defensive player, had a defense scholarship, and then coached defense, I see a lot of different factors here. And I try to break this down in many different aspects. I try to look at it as a player, and then I try to look at it a coaching standpoint, and then I try to look at it as a fan and try and do the pros and cons, and then see what outweighs it the most. As much as I dislike Desai's play calling, I cannot dislike the fact that he can make adjustments in the second half.
Exactly. Yeah.
But But the main problem with this is I feel like he waits for the first half to figure out how he's going to adjust his game to be better for a second half. Because eventually, can I cuss on here?
Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
That shit will come back and bite us in the ass like the
The
Super Bowl.
gamble is a major gamble.
Yeah.
Can't do that. He has to find a way without giving up everything in the first half to contain them enough to, if you can hold a team to 14 points in the first half and you can let our offense get into the 20s, we're at like a 75-80% win rate once we hit the 20s.
Yeah, that's true, because we
So
do keep teams at bay.
give our offense enough time to get on the field, work the clock, and do what we got to do, because that's the other thing you have to look at it. We're the best run team when it comes to clock management.
Yeah, I agree.
If
Yeah.
you put that team in the 20, once they break 21, Sirianni already knows what he has to do. It's all burn clock. He knows what he has to do, small little scat plays just to get them going, get them the momentum, little chunk plays to take the time off, run the clock down to the 5-second mark, and go. But the problem is now you look at Brian Johnson. It's no longer looking at a defensive standpoint, because now the defense has proven, hey, we can make mistakes, but we can play gritty enough that we can bounce back and give the offense possessions. But it shouldn't always have to come to that, to where they have to hold people off. Brian Johnson has to learn how to use this offense. And now, I was watching Thomas Mott earlier. Jalen audibled out of that play call for that deep pass to Devontae.
Yeah, I saw that.
Offense is frustrated with Brian Johnson's play calling. And from my understanding and what I've heard, I don't have full confirmation, so don't hold me to this, but internally, there's already talks about pulling Johnson from making the play calls.
Which I wouldn't mind seeing at all. I would like to see. I'd rather see Sirianni call the plays.
And there's that Frank Wright might be getting fired from Carolina, and I would take Frank Wright back as an offensive coordinator in a heartbeat.
That would be
a dream come true. And then he would reunite with Sirianni and flip roles, because he was the offensive coordinator.
Like,
they would be flipped roles.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys this, because I kind of gave a short of it last week on ours. I was a big Carson Wentz supporter. Still am. Like, I respect the kid so much. I feel like he got done dirty in Philly. Because if you look at this, and you look at where we were record-wise when he came back, and you look at the timetable when he came back, too early. You give him 3 more weeks, which technically turns into 4, because it would have been a bye week. You have a different Carson Wentz. Doug Peterson ruined Carson Wentz. But you look at Jalen. We look at last season with the Bears game. And now you look to what he was able to do when he came back, and you look at now. Jalen is not scared to run the ball. He's not scared to run the ball. But in the beginning of the season, week 1, they asked Sirianni, why does Jalen not take off with the ball? They told him not to. There's part of our offensive problem right there. Mm-hmm. They don't want him going out of the pocket running and keeping plays alive. So now we're more sacks, or he's thrown 9 interceptions on a season, which we're not used to.
Yeah.
He looks like Dak Prescott without a Cowboys jersey.
That is true. A couple of his interceptions, I think 3 of them have been miscommunication with him and AJ. I think another 3 is off tips, so that's 6.
Yeah.
So it's like it's very unfortunate, his interception total,
but it's, if you look back at those plays where he's thrown the interceptions, and I mean, like, I've really had to do a lot of film study, and I do a lot of it. You know what I mean? Before I do the podcast every week, I go back and I'll watch every single game and break down notes, just like you guys do, because I see you guys write stuff down.
Yeah.
The plays where he's thrown interceptions. Look how many times he's got a hole that he could take off for 10 yards and he didn't throw the ball.
Yeah.
That's absolutely. I think once it's funny. I'm laughing because once or twice I've said that to myself. Like, look at the grass in front of you. You got a good
Yeah,
8 to 10
just take it.
team. Just take it. But
And
like
everybody
Dennis
tries.
said, the
Everybody tries
limitation.
to. Everybody tries to debate with me about when he got hurt. It's obvious when he hurt his knee. It's the New England game when he fumbled.
Right
The
away.
went helmet right into his kneecap. Like
And he's been bruised since then.
it's
Yeah.
not Jalen is scared to run the ball. It's the fact that they're trying to protect him so he doesn't hurt his throwing arm, which I can respect. But in turn, now you're taking away an option of this team.
Mhm.
But don't you think that's when the run game should be at its best, though?
Unfortunately,
we
with how our offensive line is, and I don't mean cut you off. Apparently, this offensive line has not figured out how to get it together because they're still having miscommunications. Where Kelsey was yelling at Jalen on Monday.
I saw
Cam
that.
Jurgens is the anchor of that offensive line right now. They can't run that ball without Cam in there. You see what happens when Cam's in there, and you see
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
happens when Sue's in there. Suapeta's not a bad guy. He can pass block all day long, but he can't run block save his life. He's too fat. Tyler
True.
Steen, a rookie, he's not learned the NFL speed of how you have
Already.
to cover block, and he got exposed in the Cowboys. But at the same time, it's a good learning experiment for him. So there's many different options the way this has to look. But with Cam, I'm comfortable when Cam slides over because, needless to say, we have to accept it. 9 times out of 10, Kelsey's retiring this year.
Yeah.
So Cam slides over and Steen steps up.
Mhm.
And then Lane Johnson goes, and then we're in trouble.
Yeah, no, man. You know, it's man. I always say
That's
I don't
why
wanna
we
talk
gotta
about
we gotta take it while we got it. Yeah.
every game he plays. I keep telling people every block you see him make, appreciate it because they're limited. There's days is
It's a
good.
small window. It's a small window to where we gotta take it.
You
He was
guys have been to the
pancaking
link,
people.
right?
What'd
You've
you
been
say?
to the link, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. What happens when Bryce Harper, Nick Castellanos, or anybody's there and they show them up on the board?
Well, Cargo's crazy, bro.
Get used to it because that's what's going to end up happening with Kelsey soon. That's
Yeah.
all I keep telling people. Enjoy it while we have it because eventually the ride comes to an end.
Yeah, it is. It's coming to an end. That's why I kind of don't want to watch the documentary, and I still haven't watched it because it's number one.
I urge you to watch it though.
Yeah, you gotta watch it, bro.
I'm gonna
Because they
tell
keep
you why.
telling me it's gonna make you think about his retirement. It's like I'm just trying not to even.
No.
It
You see
No.
the shit that he went through. You
It
see
gives
the shit
you
that
a
he went through.
newfound respect of why he needs to.
Yeah.
Okay.
No man should go through the pains of not being able to be in the floor playing with their kids. If
Yeah,
you see the pain that he's going through, you will come back on this stream and you'll ask Warren, hey, get Dennis on here. And you're going to be like, yo, all right, as much as I hate to say it, he needs to retire. I'm telling you, if you get a chance tonight, take the time, watch it. Yes, you will cry. You'll be emotional. We're Birds fans. It's what we're going to do because we love our Birds and we love our players.
Yeah.
Especially because he embolizes Philadelphia.
Well, he is. Ever since the speech, he's became my favorite Eagle. I've always said it. He's the heart of the team. I'm afraid when he's officially done, where this team is gonna go, what direction we're gonna go in.
Hey, we're gonna need somebody. Yeah, we're gonna need
Brian
something.
Dawkins of this era.
Yeah,
That's a good way to put it.
I like
That's
that.
a great way to
I
put
like
it.
that.
That's
I
a
like
great
that.
way to put it, Dennis. And I like that. I like that you said that because Brian Dawkins for well over a decade was the leader for Philly, the leader on
Early
both sides, the
2000s,
team leader. There's always one team leader. And it always might come from an unexpected position. Nobody would ever think the center. But you got to think about it. Kelsey touches the ball on every offensive play. It starts and ends with him. That's why when I
Chelsea
see
also
him
took
on the
Jalen
field,
under his wing too, and
and
just helped him out.
the thing about Kelsey also too is he's embodied so many styles of quarterback that I think goes underrated too. This guy literally has taken on all types of styles, heights, and different snap, and he's just always adjusted. And he's always whoever's his quarterback, he locks in with them, and it's just been proven.
Hey, he said his when he first started playing under Michael Vick, he said that was almost like a dream come true. Playing for Michael Vick. I remember that. Yeah.
Young Kelsey days.
No, I kind of like that analogy. He's like the Brian Dawkins of this era right now.
Yeah, I like that. I like that Dennis said that because you know what? That's and I'm gonna run with that too, Dennis. And I'm always credit you because you're absolutely right. He is the absolute vocal leader of the team on both sides of the field.
And like I'm blessed enough, like I'll be 32 in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So it's like I've been blessed enough to watch these guys go and grow, and I've seen people come and go. And my first game at Lincoln Financial Field, my first Eagles game in general, was a preseason game versus the Ravens. It was Terrell Owens' first game in the Link. And I still have the paper ticket to prove it.
I saw that. You showed that on the show. I remember that. Yeah.
And to say that I've seen, you know what I mean? I've seen a lot. I was at the Redskins game when Dawkins got hurt, when he got the neck stinger, and he was out for most of the season. Like, you miss so many things, man, and you learn to respect so many things, and you learn to respect these guys on a different outcome. Even with Carson, like it's like, I guess the thing that upsets me about Carson is, and people are like, "Oh yeah, he cried, he did this," but y'all are sitting here criticizing this man over 3 interceptions, and this ain't to knock Jalen, because Jalen is him. Jalen is that dude. But Jalen throws 3 interceptions in a game, and this fan base ain't ripping him.
Yeah. I got a question for you. I'm gonna throw this at you.
Do that.
Yeah, I got a question for you. With that, we played the Kansas City Chiefs. A lot of people thought we were not going to win that game.
I didn't. I took them off in the first quarter.
Yeah, we're going to Arrowhead, playing that team, all the minutia that went behind it. They thought that we were not going to win this game. With this gauntlet of teams that we have coming up, how do you see it going? How just what is your pathway to it up to the Seahawks? I'm just curious on it because I've been asking a lot of people this.
Let me do this. I'm gonna pull up the remaining schedule, and I can give you a breakdown of how I think this is gonna go.
Yeah, because I want to hear everybody's opinion on this, because I think this is where all Eagles fans disagree, and we all see it as where we see areas that we want to improve on.
Where's that? Work computers are slow. So we're sitting 9-1.
Mm-hmm.
We won 5 straight before we lost to the Jets, and we're now at 4 straight.
Mm-hmm.
So, with Buffalo, here's my thing. Yes, Buffalo sits at what, 6-5, 5-5?
I believe so. Yeah.
You can't sleep on Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, you can't sleep on them. Josh Allen or Jared Allen, whatever his name is. I don't care. All I know is he's on the cover of Madden. He's in some stupid NFL commercial where he's hiding in a bush. You can't sleep on that team, because that team has proven time and time again over the last 3 or 4 seasons that they can win football games. You can't sleep.
Big time games too.
Yeah.
Exactly. They step up when they need to step up. Now, with that said, he's never played in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what Lincoln Financial Field is capable of. Diggs has played in Philadelphia when he was with the Saints, and what happened that year?
Yeah.
Beat them.
Where were we?
NFC champions.
And then what?
And then it was Super Bowl.
Okay. You go to December 3rd, my last game that I'll be at for the season, unless we make the playoffs, which we already are, but San Francisco 49ers. This is a trap game beyond belief. Yes, they have 3 losses, but they are still the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy can still be Brock Purdy when he needs to be Brock Purdy. McCaffrey can still be McCaffrey. Debo can be Debo. George Kittle can be George Kittle, even though that's Mr. Hey, I'm going to wave my hair. I don't care. I'm not a fan of Kittle. I think he's all talk. I don't think he's as good as what he makes himself to be.
Yeah, I think you know, weird about his career. Like he flashed for like one season, and it's just been like mediocre since.
But
I take Goddard over Kittle.
But with San Fran, we still sleep on the fact that they now have Philadelphia's worst enemies in a defensive lineman in Chase Young.
Yep.
That's
Chase
true.
Young has already played us 2 times this year.
And Hargrave now too.
And Hargrave. That's the other, but Hargrave ain't done much this season for them anyway.
Yeah, but he knows this.
You add Bosa, Hargrave, and now Chase Young. That's the offensive line is going to have to hold strong.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Their rotation is
Their
ridiculous.
offensive line, I'm not too worried about because they're banged up on the offensive end.
They are. They are.
And with Jalen Carter only getting better, and I don't care if that kid don't get Defensive Rookie of the Year, it's rigged.
Well, he's gonna get it.
I think San Francisco's beatable. I do think we can beat them, but I do think it's going to be a knockdown, drag out, just like the Dallas game, and it's going to come down to the final 3 minutes.
Okay.
Unless they find a way to slow down Debo, which unfortunately there's only one person that can keep up with Debo on our defensive side of the ball, and that being the rookie Sidney Brown, because their 40 times are the exact same.
Yeah, he's the fastest player on them. He's the fastest
Now,
player on our defense.
Jam him at the line, and you take him out of his steps, it's a different ball game.
Mm.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Joe. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good.
Then you go to Sunday, December 10th, Sunday Night Football. My birthday. Yes, my birthday. So come over, come to my page, tell me happy birthday, because I'm getting old and my hairline's starting to go backwards, as you can see. But feel bad for me. Again, another trap game that we cannot sleep on.
Exactly.
They took us to the limit in Philly. I was there. I still have the video of the guy taking his jersey off, throwing it on the ground.
Yeah.
Card Shark 1, Fly Eagles Fly. Yes, sir. I see that comment. Again, that's a team you can't sleep on. Then we go back on the road. We go to the West Coast. We go to Seattle. We don't play good in Seattle.
We don't.
Yeah. We haven't played Seattle well for years. I have a friend who's a Seattle fan. He gives me hell all the damn time.
Yeah.
The difference now is Geno Smith is out. But the difference is he going to be out in 4 weeks when we play.
That's true. We should have Dallas Goedert by then, though, as well.
But that is another team where I feel like we have to break the trend. Like the same way with the Andy Reid thing.
They're saying Goddard might be back for the Dallas game.
Yeah, that's what I heard
not
too.
IR for a reason. Yeah, Goddard's coming back. He's not an IR for a reason.
Yeah. So then I'm just going to take you all the way through it. Because New York, as much as yeah.
I feel like they're going to.
The Giants, man, we can't sleep on the Giants because they always.
We can't. They're a division team. We can't sleep on them.
We always get the hardest punch from them. I'm telling you, we specifically the Eagles always get that hardest punch from them.
We did not get the hardest punch last year, bro. That's what's crazy though. And I know they don't want
Arizona. I feel like the Cardinals game is going to be like us just pulverizing because I feel like they're throwing the season.
Yeah.
But I don't sleep on James Conner either. Kyler Murray's Kyler Murray. If you look at this division right now and you look at our remaining schedule, we can only really afford to lose one game. That's it.
Yeah. That's if Dallas doesn't lose.
We can only afford to lose one game.
If we want to maintain our number one seed and how everything is, one game loss would pretty much keep us where we're at for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And anything after that, now we're worrying about other people's wins and losses.
If we take 2 losses anywhere, that's when we have to look at be in trouble. But if we win on Sunday, we become the first team in the NFC to secure a playoff spot.
Right away. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
First team to clinch would be cool.
No, this is why we have these conversations. Just
I apologize for rambling so much on y'all.
No. You're good. This is why we do this at the end of the day.
Exactly. That's the point.
This is why we do this. This is the whole purpose of us going on here, having these conversations. This is what we want. We want people coming on, giving their thoughts, giving their thesis on why we are the way we are and what we can do to get better. This is the whole purpose of it.
Not rambling. You're talking about the birds, isn't it?
Yeah, it's bird talk, bro. Bird talk.
Shane had made a comment. I'm looking back at the comments now. Don't be surprised if the Lions choke up against the Packers. Shane, I'm going to say this to you, and I say this with respect, okay? You cannot, right now, you cannot sleep on the Detroit Lions.
You
Dan
can't.
Campbell has got something going with that team that they have not had in a long time.
And it started last year at the end.
And it's only picked up momentum.
And
Oh,
that
Can you
and
imagine?
I'm gonna add to that though. That momentum that the Detroit Lions have, at the end of the day, bro, that's what the Eagles have. That momentum of we are that team. We will get down and we will get dirty and we don't mind winning games in the trenches. That is the team that we are. Um, I personally, I feel like the 49ers want to get there, but the 49ers are too much of want to be flashy.
Right now, the
The
playoffs.
Cowboys will never get there. The Cowboys will never be in the trenches. They will never want to get down and dirty and win a game the hard way. And that's what makes them the Cowboys. Like they'll never want to get dirty.
How many people we got watching right now? Because I'm going to give every Eagles fan a fucking joke from now.
Go for it.
What is the one thing the Cowboys have that they can never take advantage of?
What's that?
A $7.2 trillion stadium that they'll never win a playoff game in.
It'll only be used as a Super Bowl visit, bro.
It's only used as a freaking college dome, a college football playoff stadium. They use that for a lot of
and that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, like
it might be a good place for Stifler's mom. That's about it.
yeah. At the end of the day, it's there for show. It's there for show. It's there for representation. Of course, we all know the Cowboys were a dynasty team in the '90s, bro. But at the end of the day, this is our
when I was
dynasty.
in elementary school. I was
Jimmy
literally in elementary
Jimmy
school.
Johnson, we love you, buddy, but your team has went to hell since they fired you.
Yeah, it's like you know how I feel about quick. I don't even want to speak too much on the Cowboys, but it's just like the delusion that those fans have is absolute, especially the young ones who've never
I
seen
get
a
it.
thing.
I get it, bro. I get it.
4 playoff wins in 28 seasons is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I got flipped off by this kid was like an 8-year-old at the Cowboys game, and he flipped me off. And I'm like, and I'd been drinking, and look, I have to admit I was not very nice about it. I said, your dad's a Cowboys fan, your mom's a Cowgirls fan. You were probably conceived in this stadium, right? Learn your respect for your elders. And the dad just looked at me and was like,
yeah, couldn't believe you said something like that. I see Shane said, as much as I hate that, I'd rather play the Lions. Yeah, I'd rather play the Lions too. I don't want to play the Dallas in no playoffs. I'd rather not play them at all. I'd rather see
play
them
in Philly in the playoffs just to hurt their feelings even more.
Yeah, we've been there with them before, but the Lions seem to be like that new up and coming NFC team. That's like you said, you can't sleep on them. They kind of remind me of us last year. They have a couple games they polarized teams, like they ran over them, completely dominated them. So, and then they also have had losses. So every team is flawed. No team is perfect. Whatever the road is, it just got to go through Philly because I don't want to play no road playoff games.
Yeah, that's the whole. At the end of the day, that's our goal. That's what we're fighting.
However it comes.
That's what we're playing for right now. We're just playing for the number 1 seed. I personally do not think the Cowboys will go through this whole easy streak of games undefeated. I personally think they will lose to the Commanders. Think about the fight that we put up against them. And they're going in. All they're worried about is playing us.
The Commanders are pissed. They lost to the Giants. Commanders are not happy this week.
So Sam Howell, Leo, as much you cannot sleep on Sam Howell. You can't sleep on Sam Howell. You can't. If you underestimate him, he will come at you. That's just
better.
Yeah, that's hey, he is the quarterback. He's solidified as the quarterback for the Commanders.
What is
moving
it?
forward?
Get in the playoffs.
Say it again.
6 teams get in the playoffs, right?
Correct.
6, yeah.
With the 1 team getting the bye.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, if it falls out, Detroit's at 2, San Fran at 3, 49ers at 4, Cowboys at 5, Seattle at 6, Minnesota at 7. So that would make Minnesota play Detroit.
Mhm.
San Fran would then play Seattle, and then New Orleans versus Dallas.
Mhm.
Which Dallas could win. They'll probably win a division, then get beat up again.
Yeah,
7 teams with the 8
Shane said
teams.
7 teams. Shane said 7 teams.
Okay, so Minnesota would be the 7.
Yeah.
I mean, so then we would end up playing whoever wins between Detroit and Minnesota.
Which would absolutely be fine. The Eagles have had the Vikings number for a couple of years now, so that wouldn't be.
The Lions are beatable. They show too much, and they give away too much early.
Their defense can't get stops. That's their problem. The Lions' defense cannot get stops, especially their offense is ready for a shootout. Jared Goff is, he's having
Jared
a
Goff
hell of a
is
run
Jared
in
Goff.
Detroit.
Yeah.
I respect what he's doing in Detroit, but he's like, I respect what he's doing, but they can be beat. They've been beat. They can be beat. They're flawed. They can be beat.
Yeah.
They can definitely be beat.
That Montgomery kid and Amon St. Brown are the 2 biggest weapons they got.
Yeah.
And there's a major drop off after that.
But listen, I'm gonna give y'all this before I wrap this thing up with y'all, because I know I've rambled too much on y'all's own podcast. The crazy fact about this is we're looking at a playoff platform in the AFC with the Houston Texans, the Cleveland Browns, and the Miami Dolphins all within 6 through 4.
Yeah.
You see that?
Who would have thought?
Craziest
Who would have
thing
thought?
when they've been the ass of the AFC for the last
years.
15 years.
Mm-hmm.
You see teams like the Jaguars left, they be like, and that's the Doug Peterson effect. I keep telling people why they keep asking me, why do you think the Jaguars are so good? Doug Peterson,
he's a player's coach. He's a player's coach.
Dougie P knows how to coach and get the most out of his organization. Dougie P is a great coach, so I'm proud for Dougie P.
It's a 4-way tie for 8th, though. Green Bay, Los Angeles, Atlanta, and Tampa all have the same record.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's not getting in. A couple of you are not getting in.
Yeah. No, we need to see. I would like to see where we're at come week 13. After week 13, see where we're standing at, because I think there's going to be a lot of unexpected losses coming out.
We just got to be careful. Every game's a trap game. But
we gotta treat it like that. At the end of the day, we were in the Super Bowl last year, so people are going to treat us. Yeah, people want to knock us off now.
I got one final prediction.
Go for it.
It's Kelly Green this week. I swear to God, the 49ers game better be a blackout game.
Yeah. Yep.
Should be.
That's the
blackout jerseys out. Let's go to work. Because everybody kept saying, "Oh yeah, the black jerseys they're done with. They can't use them no more because they got Kelly Green." No, if you listen to what the league rules are, you can now have multiple jerseys and multiple helmets. Yes. Therefore, the black helmets are eligible. The Kelly Green helmets are eligible. The Midnight Green helmets are eligible. And God forbid if the Eagles ever make a white helmet, which it's probably being talked about, everything's eligible. We could go back to the black jerseys with the midnight green pants.
Bro, please.
With the black pants.
I like black with the white pants too. That reminds me of Dawkins. Just
black with the white pants.
The green jerseys with the green pants.
Oh, okay. All green, like color rush.
We only did it 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is the Eagles could go full blackout against the 49ers. And there's still time. They have probably about 2 more days to make the call. But they could change the 49ers game into a Sunday Night Football game, but they probably won't, because right now the 49ers game falls as America's game of the week because the Cowboys are playing on back-to-back Thursday games.
Yeah.
So, with that said, what's y'all's prediction? Do you think we go blackout, or do you think they hold off and just go midnight green?
I think they'll go midnight green.
Yeah.
I think they will. Yeah.
I think they're gonna black out just because they haven't blacked out yet, and they usually black out for the most fierce games of the season or those tough battles. So I can see that looks like a spot for the blackout. This kind of looks like the spot for it.
Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely the perfect blackout game.
because
Yeah,
you know they
I would
usually
love.
do it towards the end of the season or at least in the
Yeah,
middle of the season. So
I personally like the blackout. I like
yeah,
the
the
all
black
black
is my
jersey.
favorite jersey
Yeah,
to be
that's my
truthfully
favorite.
honest.
As much as I appreciate the Kelly Greens, the all black is my
There's
favorite.
something about them and all
Yeah,
that.
Packers game when they debuted the black helmets last year, and
bro.
the feel in that stadium when everybody saw black helmets, it was like, dude, y'all just put the fear of God in people.
Yeah, just look like a bunch of Terminators running around.
Yeah,
But I mean, look at it like this, guys. We've got a great team in front of us. We have a lot to look up to, be happy about, and a lot to strive for. I know you guys are Jersey fanatics, correct?
Yep,
hmm
definitely.
So we remember. I'm gonna get this out there, try and help everybody out, help y'all out. You remember when they used to do the all stitched, everything was stitched, and now nobody can find them except the $350 ones.
exactly.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yes.
A reliable source. This guy's got 2 jerseys already made for me, shipping them out Friday. A Kelly Green and a Midnight Green, but it's Jalen Carter and Sidney Brown. $120, all stitched, numbers, name, logo, everything. So if anybody wants that hookup, hit me up. I'll hit him up. We'll get y'all taken care of. But
Nice.
charging me only $120 for the game quality jersey.
Can't go wrong.
you can't,
Look,
bro. You can't. And
I'm
I feel like they're not even. Yeah, that's what everybody really wants, the stitch jerseys.
but again, I'm gonna reiterate this to y'all because I have to get ready to get back to paperwork before I get yelled at, and then I'll let y'all do y'all show. um, so much respect for what each of y'all are doing and what you bring to the table. You guys feed off of each other well. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't let nobody knock your grind. Okay, keep doing what you're doing. I know, I don't know this game as I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? But I know what I like when I watch content. I know what I do to make my content better. Just keep doing what you're doing. Strive to be great, and people do pay attention. And there's a lot of people out there in the Eagles community, tailgate communities that watch what you guys are saying. You may not see the views when you're live, but people are watching, and we respect what you're doing.
That's what's up, man. Thank you,
We
man. You made my
appreciate
night,
that.
Dad.
We
You made my
appreciate
night
that.
with your statement, man. Appreciate your words, man. Appreciate you.
Happy
Yes,
Thanksgiving,
sir.
families. I purposely skip Thanksgiving because it's the only way I can say I'm on a diet. So Merry Christmas.
You good, bro. You good. Happy Thanksgiving to your family too, bro.
Hey,
All right.
bro, always good talking to you. You got to come on more, and we
Yeah,
got
we
to have
want to
more of
come
these
on your show too.
conversations.
And Dennis, we gotta talk. You and me have to talk off camera. No, we gotta, we gotta talk. I want to talk a couple things, a couple things about the
Talking about
YouTube and stuff.
hairline, though. I ain't talking about my hairline, bro.
Nah, bro, you lucky. I'm a baldy, bro. You lucky. You talking
Look,
about
look,
hairlines?
I'm not looking. Look,
You're good, bro. Trust me, you're good. Just cut
He's
it
good,
down
bro.
to like a 1. Fade it up. You're gonna be good, bro.
oh,
You're
boy,
good.
that thing's like a half.
You're good. You're good. As long as something's there.
All right, y'all.
He
God
said
bless.
it's on. All right, man. Take it easy.
Yo, take care, my bro.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Hey, and we just want to let everybody know this is what we all about. We want to bring anybody on, everybody on, just talk bird talk. We want to know what your thoughts and opinions are, because at the end of the day, we all have the same goal. We all have the same goal. You may spark an idea with me and Jay on, hey, we didn't think about it that way, or we didn't look at it that angle. So, hey, we appreciate everybody. We appreciate you, Dennis. And hey, if y'all ever get time, check him out on his channel. He go live every Wednesday, so we'll be seeing him soon. But AJ, before we get off here, do you have anything you want to tell everybody? I don't think we can hear you.
My mic is muted. My fault. I had mute. I just want to say go Birds and just get ready for these Bills, man. I don't want to overlook these Bills, and I hope we could take them down. Hopefully go to 10-1, go into this. Every single game that we win, we're just one step closer to the number 1 seed, and that's my main goal for this team.
Exactly. Yeah, just one win at a time. Like you said, we can't overlook one team to get to the next team. We got to take it one at a time. But yeah, we know what the end game is. We know what our goal is. Jalen definitely knows what the goal is.
Absolutely. Winning is the main thing, man. Winning not become the main thing. And shout out to the people in the comments, man. Always, I really appreciate it. This week, Shane Jackson definitely engaged with us a lot. Appreciate your words, brother, and your opinions, bro. Maybe one day you could come up here. Well, more than invited, my brother.
Yeah, definitely, Shane. Like, hey, I know we talked too on the side a little bit. And if you ever feel comfortable coming on, man, come on and let's just talk bird talk. Whether it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, we want to hear everybody's thoughts. So We appreciate you, Shane. And hey, we're the Eagles Collective. We appreciate y'all. And we'll be seeing you guys next week. Thank you.
Already know, fly Eagles fly.